The gate was 1.4 million. The attendance was 12,041. Performance of the night, Brian Ortega. Fight of the night was O'Malley, and I'm going to butcher his last name. You know who he is. And Hernandez was the other bonus.
Dana, several impressive performances this evening, but I want to start with Brian Ortega. Can you put into perspective what he accomplished? I mean, coming in on short notice and then being the first guy to finish Frankie Edgar. Give us your thoughts on him tonight.
Yeah, the guy's so incredible and well-rounded. You know, you think when he goes in and fights Frankie Edgar, you'd bet anything that he's going to sub him if he's going to win. And then he goes in and knocks him out in the first round. You know, this kid is super talented, has an incredible personality, and, you know, the fact that we now have a title fight with him and Holloway. Holloway looked incredible against Jose Aldo in his last fight, and I'm excited about this. Wow.
It's been fun tonight. Yeah, you said it. I mean, that seems like the next logical fight, right? That's the title fight that has to happen. Can you give us any idea of how Max is recovering? And, you know, is there an idea when that could happen? Max went on Twitter tonight and said 226 summer would be nice.
Yeah, I just saw him he came on the Ultimate Fighter as one of the coaches, and he looks good. He's walking good, and I don't know. We got to see, you know, what his doctor says, and when he's cleared and he's ready to fight, we'll make that fight immediately.
Very nice. Sean O'Malley, a guy that you're happy about, of course. He had an impressive performance tonight as well, kind of a bizarre ending. First of all, do you have a medical update on him, how he's doing, and can you tell us, you know, what you thought of his performance?
Yeah, the doctors are going to hit me as soon as they know whether it's broken. They think it's probably just a small fracture. They don't think it's anything really crazy, but, you know, they're going to let me know as soon as they – but, yeah, the kid's fun to watch. He's exciting, and people love to watch him. The crowd really likes him. So, yeah, I like it.
And lastly, for me, Dana, Cyborg tonight, another impressive performance. I want to ask, I mean, you guys have had your differences. You've admitted that you made mistakes at times, but now you're turning to her, coming in to say, please come, you know, help us save this pay-per-view. Do you feel like that relationship has improved and you know, maybe that y'all are in a good spot that you can turn to her for situations like
yeah,
this?
Yeah, her and I are in a very good position relationship-wise. And, yeah, I mean, she's a beast, man. The fight to make is her and Nunes. That's the fight that needs to happen. Nunes wants to fight. She wants to fight. I want to fight. I'm sure the fans want to see it too. So we'll get that one going. Kev?
Dana, I wonder, like tonight you had three, you know, O'Malley, Ortega, and Mackenzie Dern, three young fighters, and it seems to me maybe you have the deepest roster of talent top to bottom, not necessarily stars, that you've ever had since you own the company. I mean, you really have a lot of good young fighters now. Do you notice that, and do you feel like the depth of talent is better?
Yeah, well, I think that we've, you know, if you look at what we've done over the last couple of years, you know, with looking for a fight, and now the Contender Series, you know, one of the things we've always been good at is cultivating young talent. And I think more so in the last couple of years than ever, probably.
Is there more pressure when you don't have, you know, a Ronda Rousey and a Conor McGregor and even a John Jones selling a lot of pay-per-views to push them faster? And can that hurt their development? Like if you push them at a pace maybe that they're not ready for, would that hurt?
I don't know. You know, some of these guys, depending on their age, you know, they're you know, some of these people that are that good and that are that special come right. Look at John Jones. Did we push John Jones too fast? Did we push Conor McGregor too fast? You know, when you're the man or the woman, you win.
And then, you know, you referenced O'Malley, but, you know, what amazed me is when he got hurt and he's on the ground, he got up on his feet and he couldn't put any weight on his right foot. And he was going to fight. I think it was a minute and a half left to go in the fight. He's going to fight with his right leg off the ground.
Right.
I mean, you know.
And threw a spinning elbow and landed it.
Right. And I guess, you know, what does that say? Like, you know, is that just that kind of will to win that's deep inside somebody that, you know, you would be willing to do that as opposed to saying, hey, I can't go here and
Absolutely, man. That's when you find out who's real. And you know, when you talk about a fighter, like a fighter. You know, a lot of guys will use that as an excuse to try to get out. That kid didn't try to stop that fight. He kept fighting right to the end. And then when the fight was over, you saw him, he was screaming. He was in so much pain. But he fought his ass off right to the end. I couldn't understand why, was laying on top of him instead of making him stand up and get up. Not very smart.
Dana, over here, you said Cyborg versus Nunes is the fight to make. There's been some reports that Nunes could be fighting Pennington in Rio. Are you going to move forward with that fight, or do you think maybe you move away and try to make this champion versus champion fight happen?
I think that I will.
Could it be in Rio potentially?
Could be, yeah. I mean, listen, she just fought, so. Once the adrenaline goes down, she's got to get checked out, make sure she's 100%, and I just think that her and Nunes is the fight that needs to happen.
Yeah, and as far as Frankie Edgar, I mean, he could have probably sat on the sidelines and not taken this fight and waited for Max to get healthy. What does it just mean to you guys as the company to see him, willing to step up and fight Brian and put his title shot at stake?
Yeah. Frankie wanted this fight, and Frankie wanted to turn around right after this fight again in Atlantic City. So I love it.
And Connor tweeted out saying, it should have been me in there doing that to Frankie tonight. He had said that, he was going to step in, he wanted to fight on this card. Was that ever actually close to realistic?
No, but it's true. He did say, I'll take that fight with Frankie Edgar. But he's not in that weight division, and Ortega was the guy who, and we had already made the fight. The fight was already made between Ortega and Frankie when Connor said, "I'll take that fight."
And finally, we had 5.
And when he said he'd take it, there was something like 24 days left of the fight or something like that. Nothing about it made sense.
And finally, we had 5 split decisions on this card tonight. I think that's tied for the record for most ever on a UFC card.
Say that again?
We had 5 split decisions on this card, which was tied for the record. A couple of them involved
weird.
Adelaide Bird. What do you just think of the state of judging right now, especially tonight?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. Weird.
Were you okay with Adelaide Bird judging tonight, like just in general, is her coming back into the fold?
Am I okay with it? Yeah.
John Dodson put on a strong performance. My understanding is that this was the last fight on his contract. Is he a guy who, it's important for you guys to re-up with?
Who is?
John Dodson.
John Dodson? Oh, tonight was his last fight? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm deaf. You guys got to yell into that mic. I like John Dodson. He's a great kid. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Dana, just to follow up on the conversation of Ortega and Holloway, assuming Holloway is healthy in short order, would maybe the July card be a good time to target that fight to Kobil?
I don't know. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. But yeah, I want to make that fight as soon as possible.
Yeah. I also want to get your thoughts on the Hector Lombard disqualification. That one appeared to be a pretty blatant one.
A pretty what?
A pretty blatant one in terms of after the bell.
When you watch the replay, you clearly see the referee yell stop, and he yells stop in like a half a second, and then Lombard throws that last punch that knocks him out. Yeah, it was the right call. We good? Have a great night, you guys. Thank you.